Number 19, a major land developer is considering building a shopping center containing high-end outlet stores. There are 3 areas in the suburbs that he is considering, but wants to see if there is a significant difference in mean family incomes for the 3 areas. He randomly selects 5 families from each suburb and records their total annual income in thousands of dollars. Below is the sample data and ANOVA output that resulted. Right, so this is the 3 areas: Brentwood, Cedar Hill, and Chadwin. And this is the 5 random families that he selects in each suburb. And this is the mean income in thousands of dollars. So $51,000 and $49.2 thousand and 59.2. Anyway, what's given to you already is the output for an ANOVA F test. Notice that these parts have been filled out for you. I'm going to talk about how to calculate these. Hopefully in the lectures from class, you know that the degree of freedom for group, so DF here, that means degree of freedom for group. You calculate this degree of freedom by counting the amount of groups that you have and subtracting 1. So we have 3 groups here, 1, 2, 3, and we subtract 1. So follow the calculator. We don't really have to put it in the calculator, but just so you see, it's 2. The degree of freedom for error, so degree of freedom and then error, this is calculated by counting the amount of people that you have altogether, or amount of individuals, or I guess for this particular question, families, and then subtracting the number of groups. So 15 is the total amount. So 5 plus 5 plus 5. You see that? And then the amount of groups is 3, so we subtract 3, which is 12. So again, you count up all the individuals in each of the groups, add them all together, and subtract the amount of groups there are. So for this case, there's 15 families, and we subtract the 3 groups. It's 12. We calculate the MS error, which is called the mean square error. This is calculated by dividing the SS divided by the degree of freedom for error. So 261.6 divided by 12, which will yield 21.8. And guess what? You calculate the MSG, the mean square for group, by dividing 284.3.13 divided by 2, which should get you 142.067. Okay, so that's how they got 21.8. And then to calculate the F statistic, what you need to do is you need to divide the MSG divided by the MSE. So divide 142.067 divided by 21.8. MSG over MSE, that formula should have been given to you from the lectures. And the F statistic is 6.517. So there it is. You've just filled out all the tables, and now you can proceed to do the rest of the the question. And the rest of the question, it wants you to conduct a hypothesis test that the mean family income for the 3 years are the same. All right, so your null hypothesis, again, that the mean incomes for each of the 3 areas are all equal to each other. And then you want to write the alternative hypothesis that all the means are not equal, are not all equal to each other. So for the alpha level, 0.05, it's not given to us, but we write 0.075, 0.05 because that's the default. And then the test statistic, you calculated that by going MSG over MSE and 6.517, and the p-value right here, it's towards the very last part, that's given to us. And if it wasn't given to us, then we'd have to use the table, but the table isn't really given to you, so that's why you can assume that for questions like ANOVA F test, where they give you a rundown of the test, you should assume that they'll give you the p-value too. So don't worry about having to calculate p-value. So 0.0121, comparing it to an alpha level of 0.05, that is less than 0.05, so we reject the null. And the null is that they're all the same, so we reject that means are not all that the means are the same. So there's enough evidence to suggest that the means are not all the same. Hopefully that makes sense. Good luck.